Hi, I'm Poshak Dua, and I'm here with the team at Answered. Let's talk about some of the deepest, darkest secrets of magic and mentalism. Let's begin. Question 1. What is the difference between a magician, an illusionist, and a mentalist? We're starting with a very technical question. A magician is somebody who does magic. That's very obvious. But in a more layman perspective, in an everyday perspective, it's someone who's an entertainer who does magic. Illusionist is considered somebody who does magic but on stage with a lot of props and things like that. So David Copperfield, for example, is an illusionist. PC Sarkar is an illusionist. And a mentalist is somebody who plays with your minds, your psychology, and creates magic of the mind. So it's all very similar, but it's also different. And I hope you get to see all three of them because I love all three of them. Question 2. Who are the greatest Indian magicians and illusionists? I think the legend of Indian magic has to be PC Sarkar. Nobody has touched his level of fame, but also his level of authority on how good of a magician he is. But I have not personally seen him because there are no videos of him online. If there are, there might be, but as far as I understand, PC Sarkar Senior's videos are not there. But there is a video of PC Sarkar Junior doing a blindfold act. And I would ask all of you to go and watch that. It's one of the most magnificent moments of magic you will ever see, and he's performing on a global stage in a platform outside of India. So it makes me feel proud as well that somebody from India was representing magic at such a global level back then. Watch. Question 3. What is Jadoo? What is the difference between Western magic and Indian magic? Well, technically speaking, there is no difference because underneath all magic, it just requires logic and practice and how our minds think, and all of us are very similar. But the presentation of magic changes based on which country you're in. So the way Western magic would look like classy in a way in a theatre setting, whereas in India we had people like Jaduwalas, which you could experience on street. They would do things with ropes and they would do things with snakes. And a lot of freaky things would be done by fakirs, if you would have heard of that. So that is just the primary difference. But a lot of the Western magicians would travel to India and get to learn how do these Jaduwalas perform and actually take it to the stage in the West. So a lot of the magic tricks you see there are actually originated in India, and that's why I love our Indian Jaduwalas. Question 4. Why are playing cards used in many magic tricks? Are magicians banned from poker games? Well, I can speak from my own personal experience. No friend of mine likes to play cards with me. So I think most of us kind of magicians are banned. It's a paradox because if you actually do not win, then you're a bad magician. But if you win, then you're cheating. So there's no way out of that. As far as the question of why are playing cards used in many magic tricks, that culture started in 1800s. In Spain and a lot of European countries where people would actually play cards at home, and magicians figured out that these are 52 different objects that everybody can carry in their pocket, and it presents different possibilities. You can manipulate them with your hands, so it presents possibilities of sleight of hand. It's also mathematical in nature. So there's a lot of games that you can play around all of these simple objects. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why magicians love a deck of cards. I have a house full of cards, so I have as many cards as I want. It's an endless supply. Question 5. How can I learn to do magic or illusions in India? Are there people who create tricks specifically? Wow. This is a question that's very close to my heart because I started my journey by giving a workshop of magic in Mumbai when I was just in 11th grade, and I think I was the youngest person in India to do that, and that's how I figured out this is something that I want to do professionally. Not teach magic but perform magic. But the way you can start is actually just by going out on the internet today and learning from books. You'll find videos on YouTube as well, but I think just learning from books opens up creativity on a different level. So find out books on magic. There are a lot of basic books on magic that you can read. If you want to learn card magic, one of the magicians is Dai Vernon. He was called the professor of card magic. So find out books that are written by him. Are there people who create tricks specifically? Yes, a lot of magicians create tricks specifically. There are creators who are just obsessed about creating magic tricks, and it's a completely interesting genre in and of itself. As a magician, at some point when you become professional, you get to decide whether you want to become a creator and a performer. And I wasn't that gifted, so I actually became a performer. I wish I could have been a creator. So all those creators, I look up to you. You're awesome. Question 6. Can you talk about any specific Indian tricks? For example, the mango tree trick or the Great Indian Rope trick? Yes, I can. You must have heard of the Great Indian Rope trick. It's a legend. A boy specifically, goes up a rope that just magically is staying up in the air, and then it's a little bit of a visceral feeling, but the boy's body comes crashing down and there's a lot of blood, and finally the magician covers it with a basket, and then the boy is magically alive again. So it's freaky, but at the same time it's the craziest trick you'll ever see. Nobody has actually ever seen it in the right way. So if you get to see it, tell me as well, but it's a legend and apparently Indian magicians used to do it. The other trick, the mango tree trick, I've witnessed it myself. There's a magician by the name of Shamshuddin who still exists, and he does this trick not very often, but when he does it, it's the most unbelievable feeling, because you actually see that from a small seed, an entire mango tree comes out, and there's nothing secretive about it. He's just wearing a dhoti, there's a basket, and there's nothing else there, and suddenly a mango tree trick appears. And one of his favorite lines is that you always seen magic, experience and taste magic, and then you can actually taste those mangoes as well. Those are real mangoes. It's the most magical feeling I've ever had. Please watch it if you ever get a chance. Question 7. Do magicians need to also be performers? How important are theatrics if you want to become a professional magician? I think learning about the stage is everything. Even if you're not somebody who's going to perform on stage, just basic understanding of how to stand, how to perform, how to talk. These are things that are going to help, because ultimately your body is going to be there when you're performing. So every little thing matters, and the best magicians are also some of the best actors, performers in general. So yeah, study theatre, study other artists, study singers, study all kind of performers. I think magic sort of is that craft in a way which combines everything together, and that's why I love it. It's one of the most difficult pursuits you'll ever do in your life, but it's so worth its time. Question 8. Why were a lot of Western magicians dressed in Indian costumes when performing magic? I think it's a lot about feeling exotic. I don't know if there are a lot of Western magicians who do it now, but when in the theatre times people didn't have access to cinema and other cultures, magicians would dress in different types of costume to give that feeling of, oh, this person has come from another land, so he might have some secrets that other people don't. Now it's become a lot more fashionable to call yourself a mentalist. But at a certain point of time, they would just dress differently, and that gives you a feeling of exoticness, and I think that's why they did that. Question 9. Are there any Indian magical festivals I can attend? Magic is a very growing art form in India, but definitely there are friends of mine who organize it in Bangalore, Delhi. There's a magician by the name of Sanjay who does some amazing magic festivals in Bangalore. So figure that out. And there's Kadmakon that happens by this magician called Vivek Singhvi. That's also a very cool magic festival. And just go on the internet and find out some cool magic things. I'm sure there's something or the other happening in India. You can check me out on Instagram, and I'll keep posting if there's something cool. So yeah, I mean, it's about your exploration. Question 10. How do magicians make money in India? Is it a lucrative career? Well, we try our best. But I think like any other art form, it requires a lot of persistence, courage to first of all follow your passion. I wouldn't advise it for the weak of heart. But for me personally, I think so far the journey has been good. If you are just considering money as an aspect, then I wouldn't advise you to get into any art form. Magicians in general perform a lot. They do corporate shows, they do stage shows, they do different kinds of brand work, they do social media work, And that's just few of the things with how magicians can make money. You can also create your own tricks, and that's another way of making money through magic. Maybe you can consult for films. That's another way of making money through magic. And I'm sure that the field is getting enlarged, and other hotspots will open where you can make a lot of money, or maybe you can advise people, consult people. So I think the field is just large enough to accommodate all kinds of magicians. Perfect. So that was it with the team at Answered. I had a lot of fun talking about all of these questions that they had about magic. I hope you get to learn a lot of this as well. If you want to check out more of these things or just watch magic, I have an Instagram page. It's by my own name, Poshak Dua, Poshakdua. Do check out that. I do my shows. I call my show Head Hacker. I call myself Head Hacker. And I do it across India. I'm planning a tour. So if you want to see great magic, just follow me on Instagram, and I'll be posting their tour dates soon as well. We need more of these people who are curious about art forms in general and magic as well. I will see you next time. Watch.